So I was on the internet and I wasn't looking up porn. That was my first mistake. And I came across this video by the CartesianTheist, who is apparently one of these better known Christian apologetics. Let's look at his video real quick. It's some advice for an atheist.
Hey! If you haven't been unicycling through the foothills of Pikes Peak while trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, then what are you waiting for? Huh? Yeah!
Now I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't think this guy can solve a Rubik's Cube or ride a unicycle. I mean, that unicycle riding looked pretty shitty, and the Rubik's Cube just so happens to be 5 moves away from being solved and looks brand new. I wasn't born yesterday, son. And also, since you're giving me advice, maybe I should give you a little advice. If you're going to use something as an example of doing something fun, you might want to pick something that sounds remotely fun. I mean, trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while unicycling at the foothills of Pikes Peak? Seriously? That's your idea of fun? God damn, you know? If you got me in the bad kind of mood, I would punch you in the face for suggesting that I do that as fun, right? That is how tedious and annoying it sounds.
Especially all you atheists out there. Am I right? I think so. After all, don't you guys believe that there's no such thing as God?
Yes, you have correctly stated the obvious in the form of a rhetorical question. Please continue.
So, therefore, there's no purpose to life. No, there's no grand design. No, we're all just one big cosmic accident.
Well, I suppose I could refute that, saying what the purpose of life is and how you can give it purpose, or how saying the word accident is sort of an emotionally manipulative word. But instead, how about I just tell you to go watch any atheist video ever made, and they'll do it for me. Moving on.
So, like 100 years from now, nothing that we ever did, or said, or even believed is gonna matter. Because once we die, we simply cease to exist.
Well, son, you seem to have a real "it's all about me" attitude about life, so let me try to put this in that perspective so you can understand it. Suppose you're walking along and you step on something sharp and dirty and you get an infection in your foot, and you say, hey, maybe I should go to the doctor so this infection doesn't kill me, and he prescribes you antibiotics. Well, then it mattered to you, yes, you, that Alexander Fleming did what he did and believed what he believed and discovered penicillin. I mean, what if he thought, hell, all this science crap is a waste of time. I'm just going to go snort coke off of hookers' asses. Well then, that difference in his actions would have impacted your life. See what I'm saying? Yeah. It might not matter to us once we're dead, but it'll probably matter to somebody.
That's pretty encouraging, right?
Difficult though this might be for you to imagine, Mr. It's All About Me, reality doesn't have any duty to be encouraging to you. It is what it is.
Well, I do know one thing. Life is short. And if I was an atheist, I would make sure that I spend all of my time doing really cool things. Yeah? Yeah, I'm sure not going to let some dorky Christian have more fun than me. No. And I'm not going to waste my time arguing about the Bible or arguing about the creation. That's stupid.
You know, that's an excellent point, and I'm glad you brought it up, because it's related to another thing that theists are always saying about atheists, about how atheists are angry. Well, when you have a finite lifespan, which makes the minutes and hours of your life valuable, and then you have to waste them, just absolutely piss them away, arguing about the existence of God, which is just ridiculous. It's like going around stating the obvious, and then people going, nuh-uh, okay? And again, watch any atheist video ever, and they'll tell you why we argue. It's so the religious people don't just keep spreading their bullshit, running roughshod over civilization, stunting its development, passing their ridiculous laws based on their ridiculous fairy tales. And that's just in addition to, assuming people might actually want to know the truth about shit and stopping other people from polluting their minds. Forgive me for this digression, but while I'm on the topic of why atheists are angry, let me give you a little story. Let's say that you're walking home with somebody and you get to their house, and when they open the door, you find that the window is broken, and there is glass just inside of the window, and there's a brick sitting in the middle of the living room. So you say, hey, it looks like somebody threw a brick through your front window. And they say, I don't know. What I think happened is a team of construction workers came over, disassembled my entire house down to the foundation, put that brick there, and then reassembled it, but they didn't have enough unbroken windows, so they had to install a broken window, and then they just put the glass shards there because they didn't want to, carry them away, right? And you're like, what, are you fucking insane? It's very clear what happened. There's this very obvious tableau of what has occurred here, and they're like, no, I'm pretty sure that my construction workers taking apart the house and yada yada, I think that story is a lot more plausible. And you're like, are you out of your goddamn mind? That's really what it's like. That's what it feels like to be an atheist talking to someone who believes in a bunch of religious horsepucky. It's just and again, go back to my analogy of the house, they might be like, well, man, you can't prove that it wasn't a team of construction workers who took apart my house. Like, you have to admit that it's, possible and stuff. And it's like, yeah, maybe, but that's not what fucking happened.
I mean, seriously, if I was to waste even just a fraction of my mental capacity trying to oppose what somebody else claims to believe, well, that's ridiculous. That would mean that I must not really believe what I say I do.
Oh yeah, it's also obvious. I mean, I say I'm an atheist, but deep down, I really believe in God and heaven and hell. And I think that, it's worth it to roast on a spit in hell for all of eternity just to claim there's no God for shits and giggles. That seems like a really likely thing, because I really think, hey, I mean, how bad can an eternity of torment really be? I'll just pretend I don't believe in God, because that'll be a lark. God, could you be more retarded? Seriously?